Ron Newman, a championship's brewing. Sweet 16. The San Diego Sockers are back-to-back MASL Ron Newman Cup champions.
Tavoy Morgan says, I ain't done. He's got his 5th goal of the game in the 3rd quarter.
For Childs, his header, goal!
Childs bends to the far post.
Goal! It's Williams back to Pereira. His shot, saved by Pardo! The save of the year! And he's got Gutierrez. And Christian Gutierrez will shoot and score! Showdowns with a step to the middle, to the left foot. Still open. Shoots. He scores! Charlie fakes around a man. Shoots. He scores!
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Soccer's Overtime, your weekly look inside the San Diego Sockers, the Major Arena Soccer League, coming to you live on our Twitch channel at San Diego Sockers. Craig Elston, Jerry Jimenez, back with you, wishing you a happy holidays. Hope you had a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. We are coming to you one day later on Wednesday, December 28th, but there's been no games in between. It's time for our end of 2022 edition of Soccer's Overtime. Jerry Jimenez, what's going on, brother? How was Disneyland?
It was awesome, man. Thank you. We got to spend a whole bunch of time with family and went to both Disneyland, California Adventure. The boys loved it. It was a blast. It was a blast. It's good to be back, though. I'm excited for today specifically because it's a special day. We get to, first of all, recap what a fantastic year we had. And, you know, really we get to boast a little bit on this podcast today, I think, for the Sockers and for Soccer's Overtime as well. And also their kit reveal. So I'm excited to be back here. I see everybody coming in the chat. Welcome in. Make sure you drop in your comments. We see them and we appreciate them. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we welcome everybody who is joining us live right now on Twitch. Don't forget, go to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/San Diego Sockers. If you're on a desktop, just search for San Diego Sockers. If you're inside the Twitch app, click on that follow button. And if you follow us on Twitch, you'll be notified every time we go live, just like we did about 5 minutes ago. We also welcome everyone who's screening right now live on Twitch as we have the MASL Match of the Year right now happening, 9-9 Florida Utica midway through the 4th quarter. So I know there's a lot of folks that are in there kind of one eye on one screen, one eye on another. And if you could see what I've got us here and the game right over there. So I get everybody who's giving us the 2-screen look right now. Also, hello to everyone who's watching the replay, whether here on our Twitch channel or on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. And a final hello to everybody who's listening audio only on the podcast. Everybody welcome in every format and every form. On today's show, we look back at one of the most successful calendar years in San Diego Soccer's history. Quiet week in the MASL last week. This week looks like it's going to be super noisy with 7 matches. And if the first one is any sign, it's going to be an incredible week. Some intra-conference showdowns. We'll talk about them. And then, yes, you are in the right place. Tonight is the night. We will reveal to the public, to everybody, the Soccer's cross-border kit, our 3rd kit that we will wear in our next match on January 8th. You'll see our 3rd kit reveal video. It will make its world premiere right here on Soccer's Overtime. Welcome to everybody in the chat as well. I saw Angus is here. Welcome, Angus. He said, good day, Jerry. Good day, Craig.
Good day.
I'm Angus.
Good day, Angus.
Hi, Angus. We're at basic level.
We have to highlight the. I threw it on the screen, but here, let me throw it up there one more time. This is kind of exciting news from somebody that's always here in the chat with us, Toy Runner. Exciting news, man! Congratulations. He said he's getting ready to make a formal announcement. We have a third generation soccer fan in the oven. Craig, how cool is that?
Yes, amazing! Congratulations to yourself and to your fiance. That is incredible news. That is great news. And we are excited to have as many generations of soccer fans as possible. Every new addition is a welcome one indeed. So, Toy Runner, you're always great in the chat. And now, and it's a boy. Okay.
It's a boy.
Okay, so potential player.
Potential player. There we go. Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Who knows? You're gonna teach him to love the beautiful game the right way. Heading on indoors, watching the Lords of Indoor, the San Diego Sockers. So this will be a little bit shorter show. No special guest this week. It's just Jerry and me and you guys. Third kid is really what we want to highlight at the end of this program. And then once we're done with the show, it'll go out on social media and go live everywhere, and everyone will go crazy for it, we believe. But let's begin with the 2022 year in review for the San Diego Sockers. And sure, it's an arbitrary place to draw a line, but why not? The calendar year, 2022. So I went ahead and looked it up. Jerry kind of went through my scorebooks, found the page that started on January 2nd, 2022. Sockers beating Ontario Fury 6-3, their second home match of the year. And then all the way to December 19th, with the Sockers now in a different season, beating Mesquite 5-4 at home. In between and in total, in 2022, the Sockers went 24-0-1 in the regular season, 6-0-1 in the playoffs, captured the MASL Shield, and captured the Ron Newman Cup.
I mean, what more can you say? But what a fantastic year for the Sockers. Again, unbeaten, 24-0-1. I don't like that 0-1, but I'll take it over 24-1-0. You know, I will absolutely take that. And then in the playoffs, 6-0-1. That's fantastic. And what a great way to end it with the Ron Newman Cup, you know, being at home, staying at home for a second year in a row, may I add. And then obviously the first time ever MASL Shield was awarded, and we get to keep that one here as well. And hopefully this year continues to stay here, right? So that's the goal. But, man, what a crazy year, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, you really – I wanted to highlight that because, you know, you think and you dream, and you're Sockers fans, so you dream big, and you say, we're going to win the title. We're going to have a great year. We're going to have an incredible season. Like, how do you do better?
Yeah.
You know? I mean, right. Win those two other games in overtime, I guess, and go 32-0. Which is they went 30-0-2, you know, and have continued this streak that's now up to 44 matches dating back to 2021 of not losing a regulation match. You know, if you were backdating points, it would be a 44-match point streak for the San Diego Sockers. Of course, there were no points until last year. So yeah, it's not really right to do that.
You know what I was thinking too? What I was kind of saying, okay, is there another team that could possibly do that this year or beat what we were able to do in 2022 as a whole? And no, because every single team except for the San Diego Sockers has lost a game this season already. So it is not possible to beat the record that we had in 2022 at least. You know, so there you have it. What a fantastic year. I mean, no one else can beat that. And I think I saw here Susan Barber said going to be a tough act to follow. Absolutely. But so far so good. I mean, they're showing up for the games, and definitely a difficult task, but I think they're up for it. So we'll see what happens. But 2022, man, that was just a magical season altogether, you know? You don't want to try to I mean, you want to try to replicate it, sure, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough.
It just you're at a peak, you know. It's a peak for the San Diego Sockers to have a year where they don't even lose a match in regulation. How did that happen? Well, you got to talk about extra time. And in particular, the Sockers won 5 overtime games over the course of 2022. And I think importantly, 3 in a row at the end of January that really jump-started the 21-22 season, right? The Sox started off, won their first 2 games before the new year. At this point in the year, they were 2-0 instead of 3-0. Came back for that January 2nd game, right? Won that game, but they were trailing 3-0 in the third quarter. Didn't play that great. Next game was the one they were ahead big on Ontario and lost in overtime. And it was very shortly thereafter that the team had to play 3 matches. I know you remember this. 3 matches in 5 days in 2 countries where they played back-to-back at Corner Sport Arena against Chihuahua down in Mexico, flew back to Ontario, and took on the Fury, who hadn't played the whole weekend and were lying in wait. And you and I did those 2 matches here on this Twitch channel at San Diego Sockers, like we'll do again later in the season when the Sockers are in Mexico. We did the English language broadcast of 2 of the most exciting games of the entire season. 6-5 win where Pollo made his season debut after being visaed out the whole year and scored the game winner in overtime and I believe had a 4-goal match. And then the next night, 11-10 in overtime when Escalante scored with no time on the clock to tie the match at 10, and then Tavoy finished it. And Pollo, although they only credited him with 3, had 5 assists in the game, including on the game winner. And then they go to Ontario, and they were getting worked.
Yeah.
They were down 3 goals in the second half. They were down multiple goals in the fourth quarter and came all the way back, forced a tie 7-7, made it through overtime to a shootout, won in a shootout. That was the game filled with controversy, right? That was the game where Willie Spur and Pardo collided. That was the game where there was the shot that went off Chris Toth up high and dropped him in the game, and Clayson DeLima came in. It was one of the most dramatic matches of the entire season, and in those 3 overtime wins in a row, at one point we thought, well, the 3 drop points, that might be what keeps him off the Shield, but it didn't turn out that way. I think that was the key in many ways to the magic of that season.
Yeah. I think, having Pollo back this season obviously means so much, and just having him for those games was magical. But, yeah, you're absolutely right. I think you look back at that entire season, and on paper it looks fantastic, but it wasn't without those struggles and turbulations. And I think that's just life in general, right? I think that's something that maybe we can take about the 2022 season for the Sockers and incorporate some of those lessons into what kind of we go through on a daily basis is there's going to be all those struggles. There's going to be some fights, but you have to just keep going, keep pushing. And look, at the end of the day, those struggles aren't really going to be remembered. What you're going to remember is the wins. You're going to remember that cup at the end of the season. You're going to remember the Shield. You're going to remember all the good times. And, it makes those moments, winning the cup and all that, feel so much better, Craig, because you did go through all of these struggles and the visa issues that everybody had to go through. And then, just the in-game struggles as well, having to go into that overtime. And you said we won 5 last season in total?
Won 5,
Yeah, so, I mean, there you have it. 5 out of 7 is what I'm if I'm doing the math correctly. So we went into overtime 7 times. And this year already, how many is that? Just 1.
No, 1 already.
Okay, 1 already.
1 out of 3.
Yeah. 1 out of 3. That's
right. 7 out of 32
percentage.
is more than 1 in 5.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. It's basically 1 in 4.5 matches. Every 4.5 matches, the Sockers played an overtime match. In 2022, and most of the time they won those.
Yeah.
And dropped 1 here and dropped 1 in Chihuahua. and really just I think it speaks to something that you and I have talked about a lot, which is this club's ability to win in many different forms. They can win 11-10. They could win, as they did later in February, 4-3 in overtime against Tacoma on a night when the Sockers couldn't hit the back of the net. Danny Waltman was having a good game and the team wasn't finishing, and it got to 3-3 in overtime and the defense locked down. I would compare that very much to what we saw in the Empire match, right? Mm-hmm. Sockers were tired, weren't finishing. Defense locks it down long enough for Serta to get that golden goal. It's a hallmark. This team can beat you in a scoring fest, 11-10. They can beat you 6-5. They can beat you 4-3. They can beat you 2-1. And they did all of those things in overtime at some point in the year.
Yeah. I mean, I have nothing else to add, but I'm thinking, I'm going through so many things of the 2022 season, and so many places in time for, even if it was short amount of time when my heart was hurting, where I was just like expecting like, okay, prepare, this is gonna be our first loss, here it comes. And that happened multiple times, right? Like it was I think even we talked about it, like I thought that was it. I thought that was gonna be our first full actual loss, and it just they somehow find a way to pull it out and get that win. And it's a magical team that we have here, man. So just everybody take a minute here and appreciate the magic that is the San Diego Sockers, because it's very much real.
And by the way, I see a few folks kind of holding the discussion down in the chat and doing the right thing about it. But it is true, and I'll confirm Pollo has been on the training table both last week and this week at practice, getting a good amount of training from of attention from Paul Savage, and doing his best to get back on the floor, if not for the January 7th game at Dallas, maybe the January 8th game, so that he would not have to fly back and forth, which is terrible for soft tissue situations. So, not impossible. I think that Pollo misses that next weekend for the Sockers, but I think their hope is to have him back for January 8th.
Yeah, and I mean, if I'm trying to be positive here, with this little bit of a break, this is super helpful, and we do have the help of a fantastic athletic trainer that is Paul Savage, and I'm sure he'll get him back up and running. But yeah, he was pretty bummed out. I did get to talk to Pollo about it as well, but I know that he was bummed, but at the same time, he's like, hey, just got to do what I got to do and get back into it, and hopefully get better soon. Yeah. I know he's anxious to get back with the team as soon as possible, so we'll see. It's coming up, but it's never a good time for an injury, but if it was going to happen, at least we have a little bit of a break, right? That he can get that leg worked on, and or whatever else needs to be worked on, and come back 100%, because we need him for sure 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul's already mad that I even confirmed that he was on the training table. I mean, no, he's completely healthy and he's running around. We don't have to worry about that stuff. Remember, the commissioner's already said, like, we have to be ready for when big gambling comes in to MASL, and they got to have those injury reports like the NFL. Can't just be Tom Brady questionable shoulder for 14 years like it was in New England. We're going to be honest around here. I don't mind it.
You know what though? We do have to be a little bit more careful because apparently we a lot of people think that we're kind of a big deal around the MASL, Craig. So people listen, teams listen. So we got to be careful what information we put out there for the adversary.
Should we start putting out some misinformation? Should we start like just mixing? Yeah, just like, two truths and a lie.
I mean, why not?
If it's going to be a problem, we can start mixing in some misinformation. We can move over to disinformation. That's all over the internet, I hear. So no, we're not going to do that. We're the lawful neutral over here. 2022 outstanding player. For me, this was an easy choice. There's one guy who ties it all together, and that's the man in net, number 27, Boris Pardo. 26-0-2 is what Boris Pardo put onto his personal win-loss sheet in 2022, counting both regular season and playoffs.
Wow.
Absolute dominance. And I think the biggest thing for me, Jerry, is how resilient Boris Pardo was. Not only that he could win a game of any shape and win on a night when he wasn't at his absolute best, but that he posted up over and over in his age 37 season. Boris Pardo really was the one-man gang for San Diego in that.
Yeah, I mean, there is absolutely no discussion to be had here. I think that Boris Pardo is just a machine, and he proved it in 2022. Absolutely would agree with you that Boris has to be the outstanding player of 2022. I feel like I need to add another player just because, but I mean, I just to be different so that we added something else, and I don't always agree with you. But in this situation, I have to agree with you. So, I mean, what a fantastic year it was for Boris. And I don't have the numbers here, Craig, for this player I'm about to say, but I think that a player that in 2022 really stood out for me and was just outstanding. And maybe, again, not looking at numbers, just me personally and seeing him work and what he was able to bring to the team, I think I have to mention Tavoy Morgan. I think that he was a player that was just as Boris is an absolute leader. I think that Tavoy was a leader as well in many ways, maybe without the captain armband, but, just from the moment that warm-up started in every game, he brought an energy, he brought a fire, he brought a specific mood for everybody, for the entire squad in warm-ups that I think was part of the game changer. I think was part of why this team did so well is that energy, that positive energy and excitement and also, honestly, a little bit of confidence in these guys and being able to get away with some wins that probably shouldn't have been wins for us at the time. I think Tavoy has to be, for me, my outstanding player of 2022. I mean, Boris is undisputed, I think. But if I could add somebody else, I think Tavoy. And it's such a difficult decision, Craig, because this entire team is filled with outstanding players. I think we all say it all the time. I'm interested to hear what our chat right now has to say and who you think was your outstanding player. I would love to kind of have a quick conversation on this. But I do see somebody mention Leo. I absolutely agree with that. I think, the past master Leo de Oliveira is, again, him and Tavoy make such a fantastic partnership. And you saw it again in 2022 was just such a crazy year for both of those players.
We'd like to welcome everybody who's migrated on over to Soccer's Overtime after the Florida Tropics beat Utica City 10-9 at the Adirondack Bank Center. Adirondack Bank Center.
Arena names,
the odd.
Man?
Yeah, I know. Adirondacks. The Adirondacks. They're mountains. The Adirondacks. I just wasn't saying it right. So everyone who came off of a great MASL game, welcome over here. Florida gets all 3 points. Not great from Soccer's Overtime perspective, but also not surprising. That was the expected result. Yeah. I didn't expect it to be 10-9, but it was a great match and a great match for the league. So super, super exciting. We're over here talking about our 2022 year in review and getting ready to reveal our third kit for the first time to the public. That is coming up. It is not too far away. I see some other folks in the chat talking about Serta, talking about Mitchell Cardenas, Charlie Gonzalez, and I think those are all great mentions, for 2022 outstanding player. And that's why I really go to Boris, right? Childs never gets the credit because you could make a case offensively for multiple players, but defensively, Boris is the guy who ties it all together. And he'll point to his defenders and he'll say, look at Mitchell, look at Pino, look at Serta, look at Rojo, look at Pee-wee, and he's right. We've got the best defensive core in the league, but Boris is the guy at the back. Boris is the guy who went to the post every time and put together a vintage season. So that closes the outstanding player discussion. Pardo, Tavoy, Leo, Childs, Serta, Mitchell. We've got a good team.
We can go on and on, though. It's not just those guys. So, yeah. Blessed, hashtag blessed around these parts. What can I say?
And I'll tell you what, I think it was a really good year for Soccer's Overtime, Jerry. It was our first full year on Twitch with all of our shows on Twitch. We had 35 total shows this year. That counted the end of season 4 of Soccer's Overtime, our bonus interviews, and also our 4 panel interviews, which I was so proud and happy to be able to do and to work with you producing those 4 discussions over the summer covering all of the PASL championship years for the San Diego Sockers. We see now how people, as you said, come from other teams, fans of other teams, fans of the league, come to make this usually a Tuesday night, occasionally Wednesday night hangout to talk about the Sockers, to talk about the MASL. So I'm really proud of what we were able to do. 35 shows, 4 championship panels, and now having this great audience here on Twitch that knows to find us.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for making it a great year for Soccer's Overtime. We always strive to be better, and I think every single year we get better and better as we go through each season. This season, obviously you can see kind of the production value is getting better as well as we work through and to make it even better every time. But yeah, 2022 I think was fantastic for us, and that's really all thanks to you guys. If you weren't watching, I mean, we would probably be doing the show, maybe just not recording it. We'd be just having a conversation, Craig and I, and recapping every week, But we're glad that you guys are here and enjoying with us. And also, Craig, I have to mention it was my first time ever doing color commentating as well, and so that was for me a highlight of the 2022 season. We were able to do some games here live on Twitch in English, where otherwise it wouldn't have been an English broadcast, right? The games that were played in Mexico. Right. That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
And again, more to come, just to continue to grow this year. Our Soccer's 2 broadcasts with our guys, Tony and Chiva, are now here on our San Diego Soccer's Twitch channel. So, and including coming up at 1 o'clock on January 8th. When we're back at Pechanga Arena against Turlock Cal Express. So a great place to be here, a channel that's starting to create more consistent content, and we're really excited for what 2023 has in store as well. All right, that's 2022 in review. TLDR, great year. Sockers didn't really lose.
What a great year. What a great year.
TLDR, good year, 10 of 10, no notes. Let's move on to MASL news.
Hey, wait. There's we have to be cautious of using terms that maybe other people may not know. Does everybody know what TLDR means? Because I just recently found out it means too long did not read, or too long didn't read. I didn't know that.
Didn't read.
You're getting old when.
Kids today with their funny acronyms.
Ugh.
Back in my day, TLDR meant Tony La Russa in the Dominican Republic. TL in the DR. That's what it used to be.
Oh, man. Okay.
How about 10 of 10 no notes? How about that? Is that okay? Everyone gets that one?
I think so.
MASL news. We had a trade.
Hey!
So trade. Not for us. Not for the Sockers.
Not the Sockers. I was gonna say I should probably now, if there is a trade ever, doubtful, but I should probably have like a little jingle that I can just push a button and it's like trade. Whatever you just saying right now.
You can just clip that. Yeah, you can clip that. Vicmor Aligwe is back in the Lone Star State. He has been traded back from Florida to the team he first came into the league with, the Dallas Sidekicks. And Mike Jones, the big defender, goes to the Florida Tropics.
Who?
Mike Jones.
Who? Mike Jones. Oh, is that another reference that no one knows? Sorry.
Now you're getting me, too. Now you're getting me. Mrs. Jones. I remember Mrs. Jones. Mr. Jones and me. Nonetheless, Mr. Jones is now in Florida. And Vicmor, who I would not be surprised if this was as simple as Vic Moore's got his home and other business in Texas, and he didn't want to keep going to Florida. Very similarly to how Jamie Lovegrove made his way back to Dallas, just based on knowing Vic Moore and following him on Instagram, following his art career on Instagram. I think he's pretty well established his coaching career in Texas. He's got clubs. He's got clubs that he works with. So these are the types of trades I think you see more often than not in the MASL. Is somebody, Vinny Dantas' wife got a job in Tacoma, and Vinny Dantas got traded to Tacoma. These types of things happen, and then that changes, and now he's in Florida. But it's not. We're not yet at the level of, oh my gosh, whatever. Taylor Bond now is a St. Louis ambush because it's just a soccer trade. It doesn't happen that often. In this case, though, I think it makes a lot of sense for both teams because from Florida's standpoint, they've got the firepower. They don't need Vic Moore-Ligwe. He's like their third forward on their team. Yeah. But Mike Jones adds to a defensive core that's got a lot of size, and he adds more size to it, but I think doesn't have a ton of speed. But Dallas needs finishers. Dallas saw their whole team get up and go up the highway to Mesquite. So them getting Vic Moore, I mean, to me, you can just write down at least 15 goals for Vic Moore-Ligwe as a Dallas sidekick this year.
Yeah, for sure. And for those of you that are like me, that are still kind of learning about the league and some of the players, Vic Moore started his rookie career, right? Started with the Dallas Sidekicks in 2015, 2016. 3 seasons out of the 6 that he's been in MASL is actually with the Dallas Sidekicks. So he's kind of doing a little bit of a return home. So he'll fit right in, I'm sure, being that you mentioned like you might have a house or something like that maybe played into it. But, I mean, this guy's a goal scorer. I mean, we know Ligwe's kind of track record. So, yeah, he's bringing something to Dallas Sidekicks that I think that they need. And, I mean, I don't know. Do you think it makes sense on both sides? Who do you think won this trade? Because I think it's pretty fair. It feels fair to me, at least.
I think you can look at it as completely fair. If you were scoring like fantasy-wise, I think Dallas will get more production from Vic Moore-Ligwe than Florida will get from Jones. But they play different roles on their teams. And for me, just can Mike Jones integrate jump onto a moving train in Florida, a team that's already played together for a couple of years, and jump in and be an impact player. Clay Roberts is a good coach. I'm sure that they will get him into their system and into their flow pretty quickly. I just think Dallas has more of a need. For Florida, it's kind of adding a little trim to the roster, a little extra into the defensive core. For Dallas, it's like you're probably going to be a top 3 scorer on the Sidekicks now. Yeah. Welcome, Vic Moore.
Well, and how that affects us, too, is we are about to face the Sidekicks coming up very soon. So it does affect us. But, Ricardinho, he was asked about the trade, and he said he's excited to have him back in Dallas. He said he's going to, even though he's been gone a couple of seasons, he's always like family. He's always family. So I'm sure there's a little bit of a happy return there for them. And are we playing Dallas before or after? Playing before, right?
Like before. Yeah, it's Saturday night in there, and then Sunday night here.
Okay.
And by the way, I'm glad you mentioned that, just because I got this wrong on last week's show, and to the point where Paul Savage, who is not only the best trainer in the league but books our travel, and was watching the show
and listens to the show. We love him. We love him very much. He listens to this all the time.
Best trainer in the league.
He is the best. He is the absolute best person ever, actually.
Yeah, don't say anything otherwise, because it'd be wrong, and you'd be a liar if you did.
That's right.
And he was like, "Oh, I was about to go change our flight." But you're wrong. We're not playing at 1:00. I wish we were playing at 1:00. We're still playing at 7:00 Dallas time on Saturday night. So that means both teams are going to be flying and playing the same day on the 8th. And I know that the Sox flight is scheduled to get in around mid-morning to San Diego. I don't know whether Dallas is on the same flight or a different flight, or if they're on Southwest, if there's going to be any flights.
If there's going to be any
or
games.
If maybe they'll, if they're going to get there, a week later. Who
gosh.
knows? They're going to all be in a shipping container, and they're going to get there as soon as they can. But yeah, we'll see, right? Nonetheless, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I'm so mad that the league allows a situation like this to occur.
Yeah.
Where it's not Harrisburg to Utica, it's not Baltimore to Utica. It's Texas to California. There's so many ways that something could go wrong and a Sockers home game could get postponed or canceled. A winter storm, never mind a Southwest snafu, right? Never mind a string of 4,000 cancellations or whatever's happened the last 3 days. Who knows? It's Texas, for God's sake. We were in Texas with Landon in March of 2019 and had to turn in a damaged rental car because golf ball sized hail was falling.
Oh, jeez.
The same day that it was sunny. It's Texas. Everything crazy happens in Texas. So, yeah, Southwest will be fine by then. But nonetheless, you always get worried.
Of course.
When you travel the day you play. It's never going to lead to good soccer to begin with. Never is it going to lead to good soccer. The team that recovers best will probably win a slugfest, and the Sockers will bet that they will be that team. But could you imagine flying in a 4-hour, 3-hour flight and then going through the airport, getting all the stuff, and then just going right to the arena? Because
not fun.
At least for Paul, that's what he's going to have to do. The players will have a chance to chill out for 3 or 4 hours. The Dallas guys, if they're on the second flight, they'll probably have to come right there, get dressed, and get on the field.
Yeah. No, it's going to be interesting to see that. And also, I should bring up, and I just looked it up to make sure that I was right, Dallas is playing against Mesquite tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody's in Allen, Texas, you should go and check that game out. They're going to have dollar hot dogs. It's
Really?
cool.
Dollar hot dogs.
Yeah, sounds fun, huh?
By the way, I saw Kelsey in the chat saying I'm in a really good mood tonight. I just wanted to let you know. I don't know if you can see. It's coffee. It's coffee. Oh my God. I think I just spilled it on my laptop. It's coffee. I just wanted to make sure you saw that it was coffee because, it could be something else. But the fact is, I only had coffee at 7 this morning, and now I have it again. So I'm kind of like, I got that extra little pep.
Jittery.
I'm a little bit jittery. I was about to wipe off my keyboard, which I just dripped on a little bit with the closest thing to me, and it's the third kit, and I can't do that.
Don't do that. Don't.
I can't do that.
Oh, tease. What a tease. Look at that. Is everybody awake now?
Right?
Third kit incoming.
Okay. Big matches ahead, including the one that just played. Yes, soccer fan, if you're just joining us in the chat, we are showing you tonight. We are counting down to the third kit reveal video. As soon as we quit talking about the MASL, we're going to show it to you. So here we go. Big matches ahead. We just saw the first one. Florida picks up 3 points. And heartbreak for Utica City, a team that's playing a lot better under Everton than they did last year. No disrespect to Ryan Hall, but Everton's got the team organized and playing really well right now. The games, and the matches, I always try and train myself, the matches that I am really, really looking forward to this weekend. Chihuahua going to Lakeland to play Florida. Monterey going to Missouri to play Kansas City. I can't wait to see these two matches because these are two, for sure, if not the two biggest challenges for the Sockers this year. Chihuahua, Florida could have been the final. Sockers had to win twice on their home floor in one night in order to keep it from being that last year. And what's Monterey got coming back? What do they have coming to Kansas City, playing a physical team, but a team that I think should have the talent edge on? I cannot wait to see these matches played.
No, I'm keeping an eye on these. These are super exciting matches. Chihuahua right now hasn't really had as many games under their belt as Florida has. So there's going to be that. However, Chihuahua definitely has the firepower, has the defense. We'll see what they can do at Florida. I think it's a totally different ballgame. We're talking about Florida at Chihuahua, but Chihuahua at Florida is going to be a lot of fun. As we saw, Florida has had some really exciting games already this season. And then Monterrey at KC. Every time that KC plays, Craig, I enjoy watching those games because you just really never know. And KC is one of those teams that puts on a great show, but it can also be beaten by any team. And Monterrey is one of those teams that I believe can beat KC. I'm sure our friends over in Kansas City would hate for them to hear me say that, but I am saying it. I do think Monterrey is going to give Kansas City a tough time. We'll see though. And then we have Mesquite Dallas too, as I mentioned, right? Tomorrow.
Can Dallas get a point out of these games? Do we see a turnaround? Ricardinho came and turned that team around after an 0-3 last year. So 0-3 shouldn't mean anything necessarily if the Sidekicks can find a different gear and get things rolling. And now, with all the respect we've laid at the doorstep of the Mesquite Outlaws, if Dallas gets a result over the course of the weekend, I think that'll be pretty impressive. And it'll be something that'll be a lot of grist for our content mill next week, Jerry, when the Sockers and Sidekicks meet twice, if Dallas picks up a win. So definitely looking forward to watching those games. City now having lost this heartbreaker, they will go to Milwaukee. The Wave traditionally host a New Year's Eve afternoon match, and that will be a Sunday afternoon match. There's 3 different MASL matches on New Year's Eve day. Kansas City at St. Louis, as well as Mesquite Dallas, the return leg in Allen, all on December 31st. So a lot of fun. I think there's going to be some very interesting matches, but the ones obviously we're circling involve our Western Conference competition with Chihuahua, Monterrey, Mesquite. A lot of road matches there. So from a San Diego standpoint, you definitely want to see points dropped by those Western Conference teams to help start to set up a cushion in the Western.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting week, so definitely keep an eye on those matches. It should be fun. And then I don't want to get too ahead, but next Tuesday we do have a show, right? On the 3rd, January 3rd?
Oh, yeah, we'll have a show.
And there's going to be a game.
Are you going to be at Knott's Berry Farm?
No.
Six Flags?
I'll be here. Okay, I get it. Fine. Tuesday, though, Tropics.
You've already caught all the diseases, I think. So
I think I'm fine. Tropics versus Strikers on the 3rd. It's gonna be It's a 9:05 Eastern, which makes it 6 o'clock. So right near the end of our show on next Tuesday, I think we should because we have a lot to talk about. I think we're gonna have a lot of games to recap. So if it doesn't go long, it might be right around the end, and we're finishing this up, and then you can just switch right over to the MASL Twitch channel and watch Tropics versus Strikers. That's gonna be a test for Strikers, man. Let me tell you.
Definitely. And if the Strikers pull a result, hey, still got to be talking about that 4th and 5th place. Empire wants to aim higher than that. I know they do, but I feel like that's their destiny, is that play-in match. And who are they going to get to host it? Are they going to be on the tail end of it? Who are they going to play? There's so much to get into. We'll get into it all on the other end of the new year. We got one more thing to show you before we show you our third kit reveal.
Oh, no, hold on.
Video.
Hold on, let me make sure that I have it.
Okay. Because last week we talked about the MASL college draft. And we talked about the 3 Sockers draftees. And we even talked to our special guest last week, Craig Childs, about the first-round pick, a graduate of Cardiff Sockers, Jesse Gonzalez. And Jesse is a regular now at training. In fact, all 3 of those Sockers college draft picks have been pretty much every match at training. And one of the things, Jerry, and you've been out to training enough, it's not every week. It's certainly not every training, but once every couple weeks, the Sockers will go as a team to Broken Yolk Cafe, which is one of our sponsors, but is also kind of right down the street where we are in San Marcos. It's pretty close to where the training ground is. And so they have a big broken yoke. And you'll always hear after a big practice, some of the veteran players start to call out or to voy, call it broken yoke, like they want to all go to the broken yoke. But of course, if you bring an entire soccer team right after a 90-minute training session into a broken yoke cafe, I mean, they're going to order some food. They're going to order some food. They're going to eat some food. Now, if you are a fan of pro sports, I'm sure you know many stories of an NBA first-round draft pick, an NFL first-round draft pick, a top rookie called up in baseball that they'll go to a team dinner and then they'll just drop the bill on the rookie. I know in the NFL it happens all the time. Like, drop the bill on the first-round draft pick and be like, cool, spend your bonus. You got that big bonus, kid. It's time to spend your bonus, help give a little bit back to your team. And usually they have to swallow hard and pay the bill. So please enjoy this video, courtesy of the Soccer's WhatsApp channel, of Jesse Gonzalez at the end of Broken Yoke being handed the bill for close to $1,000 for for his joy of being a first-round draft pick. And just wait for the end to see the look on his face when he gets to the bottom of the bill.
Let's see. It might look kind of weird, but I'm going to... Oh, he doubled up.
Hey, there's me again.
Let's see you again. Hold on. It's going to look kind of weird, but I'm going to try it. Here we go. Oh, never mind. Here we go.
Congratulations on being drafted.
Oh, never mind. Hold on. I got this. I got this. So I'll tell you guys why this is happening, but here we go.
Oh, there it is.
You can't hear it, but...
Okay, kid, okay.
It was $1,000. Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
I'm trying to make it not look weird, but it's not working.
It's okay. No, that was
Here
great.
we
Just
go.
roll this again.
Look
Look,
at his
it's all
face.
fun and games till he gets to the bottom of this bill. Look how long this bill is.
Yeah, like, it rolls it down. It rolls the bills. What is happening? That's hilarious.
Oh, my God. It's like the Dead Sea Scroll, the length of this.
Yeah, he folded
this
it. He's
check.
like, oh, we're cool. And then he opens it back up.
Oh, that part too? So, Jesse, hey, to his credit, Jerry, I got to say, Jesse put his credit card down. He was like, okay, cool. And he put his credit card down. And then, of course, they were like, no, give me a break. Here's Phil's black card. Let's do this the right way. It was just all for the laugh. But the kid was ready to go. He was ready. He was going to come home and be like, listen, rent next month.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sorry, guys.
Phil, is there anything at the house you maybe need some construction work done? Your pool cleaned? That was that's what he was thinking about for a few seconds, right there for sure. Was what the hell am I gonna do now? Okay.
Congratulations,
This wasn't gonna be
Jesse.
the longest show.
Congratulations.
Yeah, good sport, Jesse. It is time. The time is now. Let us get to the thing you've all been waiting for, hopefully. This is something that we, Jerry and I, Adrian with Los Brujos, Ezra, Burdett, and all the fine folks at Flight have been in a combined creative artistic endeavor to put together a new kit for the San Diego Sockers, our official third kit for 2022-23, a kit that represents our community, our culture, our multiculturalism as a franchise, as a team, as players on the field, and as fans who support the game of indoor soccer. Please enjoy the world premiere of the San Diego Sockers third kit video.
San Diego, Tijuana. Two cities separated by a border. A wall that divides two cultures, two communities, united by one passion for the beautiful game. And in our sport, talent has no border. And walls lead to goals.
There it is.
Let's go. The cross-border kit is here, ladies and gentlemen. Our official third kit for the San Diego Sockers. Jerry, Ryan Young, all of the folks, Bridge Barcata helping us out. Los Brujos del 78 helping us out on our third kit video production. We thank them all. If you are listening to us on the podcast right now, you can go to our YouTube channel and check out the third kit video as well and see what you just heard, see all the visuals to pair to the audio. I'll answer right off the top the first question that people are firing at the chat. How do I get this thing? How do I get the third kit? And the first answer is by coming to our match on January 8th. We have our initial run of cross-border kit jerseys, and we are selling them at the merchandise stand on January 8th, and that will be exclusively the first place that you can buy the cross-border kit. When January 8th is over, what is remaining of the inventory, if anything's remaining of the inventory, and that's a great look right there at the cross-border kit as well.
There we go.
What is remaining will go onto our online store, our San Diego Sockers online store, and be available for ordering starting on Monday, January 9th. Now, I've already talked and we discussed it at our staff meeting. We know, I feel very confident, Jerry. I think you and I feel very confident that this is going to be a popular kit that's going to sell out very quickly. And as such, we're already in the process of beginning the second order run. And once we run out of the size you need, we'll be able to have you pre-order to get a second run. There's that period of time when the Sockers are on the road a lot in February, and we're anticipating that'll be a good restock time for the Sockers. So we're so excited about this kit. I think you're going to be excited too. But the best way to guarantee that you're going to get the size you want of this kit is to be there at 5 o'clock on January 8th, because gates will open at 5 for a 6 o'clock game, and be there, be one of those season ticket members first in line to get the cross-border kit for yourself. Now, I've got a handheld mic, and I love that you got some of the stills from our production shoot, Jerry. Incredible. Cisco's kid was our model. Did an amazing job. Just absolutely love to see Chiva in the background there, as well as Naku. Some of the people, man, some of la gente here in San Diego when it comes to soccer culture. And by the way, the full kit is a black short that continues that tile design on the sleeve with the trapezoidal design down the side. So, I'd like to take a second to talk to the designer of the cross-border kit, and that is one Jerry Jimenez, who you were so instrumental, man, in taking all of the ideas that we had in summer meetings and going out to see street art, going out to art exhibits and going down to Barrio Logan, going to Chicano Park, going to the border, going to Tijuana, and coming up with the design ideas for this shirt. So maybe let's just kind of take a quick tour of the kit, huh? And you can talk, I'll set down the mic and I can go through the elements of the kit here because I've got one too.
Yeah, awesome. No, so yeah, this kit was a complete collaboration with everybody, and we included, a big voice that I wanted to make sure was a part of this was Adrian from Los Brujos de 78, who really was instrumental in saying yes, this is the way we want to go. This is kind of the route we're going with it. But Flight just absolutely nailed it. So thank you to Flight for doing this. The trapezoidal design that Craig was mentioning, you can see that on the sleeves. You have to actually really get close, but on the sleeves themselves, you see the squares, and it's something that goes all throughout the sleeves. I saw somebody mention asking about the shorts. The shorts are going to be this exact color as the sleeves, so they're going to be black with that trapezoidal design that you see there that Craig is holding up now. That design is something that we kept seeing. It's just reoccurring everywhere in Chicano Park in Barrio Logan. If you go to Barrio Logan and you start paying attention, you're going to see that design, the blue and yellow design that goes down the side of the jersey. You're going to see it everywhere. It's on the walkways. It's in the kiosk where they do the Aztec dances and ceremonial dances there in the kiosk at Barrio Logan. So we wanted to keep, obviously, our color scheme, but we wanted to make sure that we gave it a little bit of flair, and the best way to do that was to make it black. And I know there's some people that are asking, please don't make it a black kit, but hopefully you like this version of what we did with the black, because the blue, we wanted it to stand out as well. So you see that Aztec design both on the front and the back. So can't wait for you guys to see that.
Yes.
The back will have really nice bright yellow colors on the last names as well as the numbers. Actually, does yours have a last name on the back?
It does not, and yours isn't the font that
it isn't. It's a different font, so I won't show you guys.
We settled on, yeah.
And this is my own.
That's one thing you can see
version.
next Sunday.
But here we go. So this design here that you see that Craig was showing you guys, it goes all the way down the jersey, and it follows down the shorts as well. So I'm really excited to see what everybody thinks of the full kit, because it looks fantastic on. And like I said, Flight just absolutely nailed it. And thank you to Adrian. Thank you to Justice Parman for helping out with the video. Thank you to Ryan Young for shooting the majority of the film. Justice also shooting all of the the video of the players. And then, obviously Craig, too, for being a voice and being able to get us to pull this kid off and make this happen in the front office. And to Ezra and everybody else who had a hand in making this happen. I would hope everybody loves it, and I am glad there's going to be a opportunity for a second order, because I'm pretty sure we are going to sell out of that first one. So with that being said, Craig, you said it once, but I'll have you say it one more time. When is the first time that they can get it?
Yeah, so this cross-border kit, the jersey tops will be on sale at the merchandise stand starting at 5 o'clock when the gates open for our 6 o'clock game against the Dallas Sidekicks. And we will wear those kits on the floor January 8th. I know we'll be wearing them on the floor January 29th when we play Monterey. Part of our mission statement, and I think you mentioned that too, Jerry, I was trying to be a uniform model at the time, was to have a kit that our team would be proud to wear when we were playing the Mexican sides. That they wouldn't think it was chintzy, that they wouldn't think it was corny, or that it was co-opting culture, appropriating culture. We wanted it to be authentic in every way. We wanted it to come from a place of purpose. We wanted it to have intentionality behind the design, and for it not to just be an amalgam of things that are reminiscent, or things that could be tied to being reminiscent of the region. We wanted things that were specific, that were evocative, and that the team would be proud to wear in Mexico. And whether they're going to wear these in Mexico, it kind of depends on Monterey and Chihuahua, because, for example, Chihuahua has a black home kit, so they'd need to wear their whites in order to let us wear this down there. And if they don't want to do that, they don't have to. But we'll definitely be wearing it for when Chihuahua and Monterey come here. With the exception, actually, I believe Monterey comes on the 17th when we're wearing St. Patrick's Day jerseys. So we'll be wearing it here. It's one of the best jerseys we've ever made, and if not the best. And I think the players are going to love it. But as you know, Jerry, they also have to win in it, or else
They have
they'll
to
be
win
like,
in it.
we didn't
They
win.
have to win in it. No, and I got an opportunity, I would say, to talk to all the guys and ask them, hey, so what do you think of the jersey? And everybody absolutely loved it. And I think everybody was just like wow, this is black. Like, we get to wear like something that's different from the usual blues and yellows and whites, while still it very much keeping the essence of the Sockers. I would say that was one of the things too. We didn't want to overdo it. We wanted to keep it simple and just something that was, just classy. And like you said, that you could wear in Mexico and it wouldn't feel weird. You have to keep in mind, for those of you that are listening, like the majority of our team is Mexican. Like, we have a lot of players from Mexico, and we wanted to give them something too that represented them. And San Diego is such a multicultural city, and a large part of this community is that Chicano community, the Mexican American, and having that border that separates two cultures that are so different, but at the same time so similar in so many ways. And I hope that we did it justice. I hope that I'm super proud of it. I know that you're very proud of it, and I think that everybody that's worked on this is really, really proud of what we were able to come up with. And everybody I see talking about Flight. I mean, Flight is just really killing it right now, and that's one of the things that we talked about too. Will they be able to pull this off the way that we envision it? And man, they nailed it.
They absolutely did. Thank you to everyone with so many great comments we see in the chat. We see all of you. And the one that I really, really loved was from Miss Whatsit, who said, I'm not going to lie, I was super nervous about it being cheesy, but this is straight gorgeous. And I get that. I mean, I get that. A lot of people, let me put it this way. The City Connect jerseys of the Padres were an unmitigated success. They sold out immediately. They're like, you still can't find them. You still can't find the mint hats. And yet there was kind of a polarized response, right? You either loved those kids, baseball jerseys. You either loved them or you hated them. You thought they were disgusting. And I think it was, whether it was 70-30 or whatever, I think there was that element. I think the Loyals third kit, there was some question. I think it's a nice-looking kit. I think it's a really nice-looking kit, the Loyals third kit. But they had a couple of questions that were asked along the way, and we really just wanted to make sure that there would be no question asked when you watched this video and when you saw this kit and when you saw what we were intending to do and what we've done. So incredibly proud of you, Jerry, proud of everybody that was involved in this process from start to finish. And now we're so excited to see your response, to see the comments tonight on social, and to see you at the match on January 8th. And if this is ever not a reason, right, to get the group together, to get everybody out and to get out there early, because the last thing you'd want to do, and I've seen some people say flight kits run a little small. Flight kits run a little small.
Mm-hmm.
They do. I'll tell you that myself. They do. They run a little small. And so, if you're that 2XL person, right, where you really want that 2X to be sure, better get there early, man.
Yep.
Those are going to be some of the first that go. As always, XL, 2XL, L, those will be the ones that go right away. And then you're going to be on that second order, not getting it until February or March. So, get out there January 8th, and what's left online, we'll put it up on January 9th. I'm suspecting it's going to be like a handful of smalls and a couple of mediums for the people who were, that'll be left by January 9th. That's my suspicion. And by the way, as we say this, I think, and you had a large part in a couple of the other designs that are coming, man. I think the overall suite of kits for the Sockers this year are the best we've ever had. I mean, the blue retros are incredible. The blue retros are my favorite all-time Sockers jersey. The white road with the Coronado Bridge in relief, I think, is really cool and a neat detail. This third kit is the kit I'm the most proud of ever with Sockers. Our Star Wars kits are coming soon. That reveal will be a few weeks down the road, but that's the first weekend of February is Star Wars night, and I really like what we got going there. When you see what we've got going for Boris on Star Wars night, you're going to go crazy. And I'll just tell you right now, you're going to be able to buy that jersey. You're going to be able to both buy what the field players are wearing, and you're going to be able to buy what Boris is wearing that night at Pechanga Arena, and we're really excited about that. And the St. Patty's Day kits are fire. I mean, they're absolutely amazing. So can't wait for you all to see what's going on. Angus asks, what color will Boris's jersey be? It will be... I ain't telling you yet, man. You got to wait.
Yeah, thought it was going to work, didn't you?
You thought, but come on. Not my first rodeo. I've been to Mesquite more than once. Not my first rodeo. Come on.
My wallet already hurts. Good. No, I'm just kidding.
That's
awesome.
it, man. That's the goal. We got to get this, FOMO, right? You know, the FOMO desire. That's what we're trying to instill here. All right, that is it for the show. That is it for 2022 Soccer's Overtime. But fret not. We'll be right back in 2023, getting things started. Just 6 days away, next Tuesday, with special guest, a recap of an incredible weekend that will be in the MASL. Who knows what other craziness will happen between here and there. We'll have our media game roster reveal on next week's show. Look forward to that. And for everything else, for everyone else, and for all of our incredible audience, all of our great Sockers fans, everyone listening on the podcast and on YouTube and on replay here on Twitch, we really wish you have a safe and happy new year. We hope that you are safe. We hope that you get to spend it with family, with friends, and just take care of yourselves. Make sure that you make it to the other side to 2023, because we wouldn't want to miss you over there. We've got a lot of things planned for this coming year, Jerry.
Yeah, you absolutely do. No, again, thank you guys for a very, very fantastic, probably the best best year I've ever had. I'm working in sports, doing things that I love, and I really wanted to thank everybody here for being a large part of it. So hey, we'll see you guys next year. And yes, Marlisha, I promise you, away game watch party information coming soon. I saw you asking.
And training's usually 8 a.m. I also saw a soccer fan asking. Training's usually 8 a.m. in San Marcos, but cruise on by, find out what's going on.
Yeah, and if you have questions, but for whatever reason we miss it, please message us. Do me one favor. This is all I'm going to ask for Christmas. If you didn't give me a present for Christmas, which I don't think any of you did, go ahead and once we post the third kit, spread the love. Tell everybody, show them, share, and help us out with that to get that kid out there, and hopefully more people can see it, as well as just spreading the word about the Sockers, guys. Please, we want to see more of you at the arena, and would love to have you join our family. Those of you that are here know that already, but let's get some people in there that normally wouldn't go, and that's it. I will see you guys next year. Thank you so much, Craig. This was a fun one.
For Jerry Jimenez, this is Craig Elston. Thanks for getting to the end of episode 7 of season 5 of Soccer's Overtime, our third kit reveal, and 2022 year in review. For Jerry, I'm Craig. Have a great weekend. Enjoy all the MASL action. Be safe. We'll see you next weekend. And most importantly, go Sockers!